I'm Ravikumar. I'm handling airport systems in Bangalore International Airport. In the airport system, we do have passenger handling as well as baggage handling. So, baggage handling has got critical systems like baggage handling system, uh, the hand baggage screening for checkpoints. We have people movement like passenger boarding bridges, vertical horizontal transportation system, and over and above this, I do handle other miscellaneous systems as well, which is part of the airport process. So I do have almost say 27 years of experience, and the airport field I'm around say 18 years of experience in airport field. I worked in multiple airports across India and abroad. Airport people movers, BHT, vertical horizontal transport is the spine of the airport. And why I say it is the spine of the airport? The people have to board the aircraft in time, the people have to come out of the aircraft and then go to their respective places in time, and the VST plays a very vital role in that. So the distance in which the equipments are set in place, the sizing of the equipments, and the speed at which they run, this all plays a very vital and major role for people to move. And airport is such a place where you get peak traffic, we have non-peak traffics. So we always work on the peak traffic calculations and see there is a further enhancement to accommodate beyond the capacity of a terminal what we designed for. And we also should have considered all the redundancies in place in case of one equipment goes off, what we do. So we can't just leave with one single device where it could go for a critical failure and the people have been put into risk. So we don't do that. So we always have ability of handling people through multiple layers of equipment like VHT. So when we have a set of bank of escalators, it will always be supplemented by an elevator. So this we'll see in pairs in airport. This goes in a design conditions. Or otherwise, if we are not able to put an escalator, we'll have a pair of elevators. So that's how we have a fallback in place so that we don't lose at any given point the capacity level, or the system will go down and put a risk to the passengers or the people to move. The traffic projections pre-COVID, the traffic projections were quite good, and all of a sudden because of COVID, the traffic, particularly international and even our domestic, also fell down a lot. And when it came back, our domestic progress, India is such a huge country, our domestic traffic itself helped us to catch up to our say 50 to 60% of demand. And if you look at the last quarter in India, we have got 43% of traffic growth, which is very significant, which you have not seen in the last decade at all. So this much of traffic growth, it is hitting back to us, which means the infrastructure requirement for airports is going to go in multifolds. And when you look at the way how the airlines are going for a buying spree to get their aircrafts much more to support all this growing demand. So there is always a demand in the airport industry, and when the infrastructure grows, the number of VST equipments very much plays in its vital role. And the way people are today, they much more don't want to walk much. They all wanted to be taken automatically to a point and in a more seamless way. So VST as a quantity, what you would have seen in previous airports, and to comparable to upcoming airports, the quantity of and the expectations would be much more than what it was like. Okay, to start with, we always go for a open tender to invite all the players in the market. So what we always see is there is only a certain set of people who come and bid for the airport project jobs. So that probably we have to little change over. We have to make an environment to such a way that all players across the industry are able to bid for this process. Though we invite all the major players or even the players who are much more renowned or not renowned also, we used to invite them. But there's I don't know what made them not to participate. There are some cost factors as well, because the cost factors always play a key role, and the volume in terms of providing to the airports also. There's a short time period where everyone have to deliver, and at the same time they have to work in a more complex environment where multiple stakeholders are involved in the airport. So it's not like a single small building where you would just put in the equipment and go away. Here there are a lot of coordination required, there are a lot of interfaces required in an airport. And the expectation of airports, the technology wise, and the equipment ability to operate also is expectations are very high. So at the same time, always we look for the best cost. So people to give at a very high quality level and give the best cost at maybe the lowest cost. There gives a gap. But still, we finding it to bridge this gap to get all the people on board as many as possible to give a competition. And when it comes to product, from a design point of view, we always see a latest design, a futurist design that to be applied in an airport. And we also give open space for every company to provide their innovative solutions that could be implemented here in airports. So airports always driving towards technology, always trying towards the latest product what is available or upcoming in the market. See, there is no as such one place where we could find. It is more to do with our interaction with each and every OEM. Whatever the OEM does issue in their through their pamphlets or through their websites, or they come and approach us. Their marketing team or sales team come and talk to us, and then they say what they are going towards the next 5 years or for the futuristic things. That's how we get to know. So even this also is limited to the players who are coming and meeting us.
Right.
So we don't have a common place where we could get to know all these informations in a place where all the people of in the industry would be there, showcase their products, showcase their futuristic way of going forward. That will help us to understand how the industry is leaping itself, and which we also could adapt to in our solutions. See, this is something what you guys are doing is such a wonderful job, and I would applaud all the efforts what you are putting in place. Because when I tell and discuss about the event and exhibition is going to come in the coming year, and everyone was surprised to hear that, oh, is it going to happen in Bangalore? So, and they never heard in the last 10 to 15 years such a kind of event could have happened here, and then it could be of more useful to our industry. So everyone is eager to see that happening, and they are all very much expecting this to see in a big way and be more successful in the coming years. And this, we would like to have this maybe on a recurring basis. It's not like maybe we do it next year, maybe we have to have some recurring action of maybe annual or biannual. If it happens, then the awareness and people get more information. The more information and knowledge is more good for and healthy for the industry. In airport, particularly if you look at Bangalore, yes, we did a Terminal 2 and we opened up the terminal for 25 million passengers, which has got around say 118 or 15 more equipments which we have installed. And going forward in the upcoming year, we are going for a upgrade and reversion of our existing terminal, where all our age-old or lifetime past equipments would be replaced and refurbished. And beyond this, we do have other in and around airport. We have other infrastructures coming in, like the airport city or aero city control. So there are a lot of huge infrastructures coming in place. So that would play a vital role in terms of VST expectations in the number of high number of quantities requirement would come up there. And over a period of time, since I said about the 43% growth which happened in the last quarter, and this trend continues further on, we will be forced to build another 20 million terminal, which is already in our plan. So what we built right now is our 45 million terminal, where we have done 25 million capacity building is being built. Another 20 million will be added on. It's a matter of time how the growth happens. If the growth is happening very fast, then the infrastructure requirements will come very soon. So that would again ask for the similar numbers of installations. So that's how the demand goes around the airports. And coming towards across India, there are a lot of requirements across India is happening. Every airports in Delhi, Bombay, Noida, you can call all airport authority airports. Many airports, even smaller airports, are coming up across the Indian infrastructure. So this will have much more numbers, keep growing year on year. The numbers will be keep on going. India is such a developing country today, and all the infrastructure needs and requirements will always flourish. See, in exhibition, when we go for exhibition, something we always look for something what we have not seen as a equipment VST, what we have used for. and what are the new trend of equipments going to come in place. So what are the new technological advancements which are going to influence existing? Can we adapt that? Can we retrofit those? Because suddenly if you expect us to replace them completely, it may not happen immediately. So if there are certain add-ons that would enhance the technology enhancement, if the product can be improvised much more better, we could collect much more data from the equipment, we can make use of it in a more efficient way to operate. So these are the things which we would like to see what exactly each and every OEMs would display on their side, and any future trends coming up which is going to really completely lead the industry in a more different way. Of course, airports are the one which will adapt it faster. So then that way we are expecting on that technological part. Other side, if you look at the maintainability, the service levels, where we are day to day managing and maintaining the systems. So there we also we would like to see how any advanced tools have come in place to understand the equipment much better, whether the lifetime of any components in the system is deteriorating or which can be enhanced, or which is already, though we say there is a predictive or a preventive maintenance schedule comes in, there is some other new information where we can get from the system that would say, okay, we don't need to really replace now, it can be further enhanced to live its life to further prevail, or there are something which are hitting us early to change. So there's some mechanism to, it's like a doctor to analyze on its own. If such kind of predictive tools could come, it will be more helpful for us. We actually do many customizations in our terminals. Though in a broad view, we have, say, passenger category and freight or goods category. But in airports, we have other subdivided categories of the same. So when we say passengers, we say real public, they are the passengers for us. And we also have back-end staffs have been used. So that is also been called as a, though from the industry point of view, it is a passenger, but from our side, it is a back-office staff and staff usage. And from goods also, we have a larger elevators put in place, even including the people going along with the trolleys and baggage. That also we put as a freight or a goods category equipment. And we also handle in the back end all the real goods, which goes to the duty frees or food and beverage, all those. And on top of it, we have trolley handling. So trolley handling is completely special for airports. So we have to stack the trolleys and we have to circle the trolleys in time. If you don't give the trolleys for the passengers in time, there also will be a risk for the operation. So all these things have to seamlessly happen. So you have many more subcategories. When it comes to customization, we have to customize all these products to the need and size it. So what are the standard sizes, what is prevailing in the market, we try to adapt to that level. But still, we have our own expectations and conditions to be applied. Particularly trolley elevators, there is no perfect trolley elevator size which is very much happen in our standards. So we have to request OEMs to tailor-make little adjustments from the length and breadth of the equipment to suit that needs. So that's how our customization goes. And on top of it, we do have interior customizations. So most of the OEMs don't have that interiors development being done on their own. They always have a third party to look at, or we have to directly find some other third party who can do that for us. And we do have elevators being used in VIP or CAP lounges. We do have elevators which have been used to the common public. So there are a lot of expectations to the respective locations. We tailor make and customize them. So that's how our customizations at each and every point does vary to extent. See, from energy point of view, we wanted to make and use the equipment as they need. So that itself will make sure we are not unnecessarily running equipment, and we don't want to really make it, utilized in a more appropriate way. If you do that, that itself we would save based on time and usage wise. And second thing, the product itself, how efficient the motors are, how much current and they consume. So, and how that current could be, or it can be regenerated. And we don't have much high-rise buildings in airports. Like it's all maximum maybe 4 levels or 5 levels maximum it will run through. So within that, what we understood is the energy renewability or regeneration looks very minimal today. So how to enhance that? Probably we have to learn from OEMs how to make it further enhanced. So we are willing to do that, and probably from, I don't know, whether escalators and moving walks, they do have the ability to regenerate themselves. I've heard about, we have regenerative equipment installed in our elevators, but they are not that effective per se because we are not running very high-rise buildings. So from escalators and moving walk point of view, yes, there could be a possibility of doing that, but I don't really have a knowledge of whether such kind of regenerative technology is there in escalators and moving walks. True, I agree to that. We need to have one lift policy, at least to extent of to start with at a safety level. We can bring in the broad areas where all come to a neutral level. That makes a one policy, and there could be some variables if there are some specifics to state that can be kept as a variable. But majority, I would say around 90% should come as a single policy. So that should cover all those. And safety is something no state to state difference would be there. If the safety is at most concern means it's for all. So it's across globe. So we can't have a disparity there. Of course, first time hearing about BIAS is going to get awards like so. We always see maybe the awards are given among the industry people who are making it, who have sold very high volumes, who are turnaround maybe high quality products. So these are things which have been heard of. But BIAS getting award is something maybe a new one which I'm hearing of from you. And yes, it will be more surprising and welcoming move for BIAS to get this, and it also will be in our feather in our cap like. And we also do have that encouragement by giving this kind of awards, and we also will be further enhancing, appraising ourselves to give much more available, much more qualitative equipment that is maintained and that is served for the public. As a futuristic thing, what we expect is like elegant equipment, which would be more inviting for the people to use it, and at the same time, it is more safe, and it has also been technologically upgraded to a level how fast our mobile phones turn to be. So the products used to get multiple versions, so every often we get this. Similar thing, VST also adapt to that level of technologies where we leap ourselves to match that level. And if that kind of futuristic technology could be brought in place, that will be a key. And what I was thinking to myself is, most of the elevators, within the elevators, we always have a no network or a less network. So the network within the elevators should be up there as what we get it outside. So that is something which should be brought in place. And second thing, in case of any distress, equipment goes for a say air deactivation or any other issues or a fallback. The equipment should be itself be spoken to the public inside or passenger commuters inside. So that level of interactive technology should be put in place in our VST equipments. Today it's like a more of a, I would say it's more of a dump equipment where we just press the button where we want to go. So even though there are certain areas where we define, like in certain floors we have lounges, we have other facilities. So if the equipment is able to tell the people who are inside who are commuting, that also will be more interactive to the commuters. At the same time, more if in terms of distress time, when there are safety issues happens, that's the time we expect people get panic. To make them not to panic, the VST should be more communicative to the passengers or the public. So that makes more effortless, and people who would come and then rescue them or will also have their time to go and do that. And people who are inside the elevators during that conditions would not have much pain and panic. Sure, very much. We do have a team of people or regular people who would go for this kind of marathon run or any other run. Yes, of course. When we have this event happening, please inform us. I will publish to my people in our group, and the volunteers will come in and do that. So we are willing to do that for sure. See, AI at every segment of airport process is playing a much more role, and day by day that level of artificial intelligence being adopted by every OEMs is gradually rising. So VST also, I would like to see that adoption of AIs into their equipments. So that would identify a person who are getting into the equipment, how many people are commuting, and you can also do a lot of intelligence based on people in case of safety needs, any other needs of to collect data and to process things, and then see when there's a peak time how the systems would behave. So all these things can be put together, and artificial intelligence would play a major role. So we are in the very initial stages now. When we start getting more and more input from AI, we will be further be able to enhance the usage and utilization.